Okay. Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope everyone's doing well. It's been a bit of a wild week for me, I'm not gonna lie. Nothing bad, but just like, I don't know. I took a long weekend, and for me, and for a lot of people, that means playing catch up. Um, but I don't know. I didn't do much this weekend, which was great, but I'm also just, the week is melting before my eyes, and I'm behind on stuff. So, a bit of a crazy week, so I appreciate everyone being patient, and reminding me to push the stream back. I'm actually not feeling these tunes. We're going to find something else to listen to here. This is going to be like a super casual, very chill, Patreon hang, where I'm probably not even going to make this public on the YouTube channel. This will just be for patrons. And what I'm going to be doing is, what you see on the screen here is we've got the folder for mission manual. So this is all of the mission manual stuff. You can see there's like the sort of intro sections. There's all the missions. And then down here you can't see, but there's all the... let's turn this off. All the additional rules and add-on elements and stuff. So we're going to be kind of preparing for a game that I'm running on Friday during the Kickstarter campaign. I'm running a Mecha hack game every Friday. They've been really fun and they've been going really well. And I've been trying out some different things with them. So tonight we're gonna see how it works to basically take one of these missions that's already written and basically prep for our game using the mission, but changing some stuff up based on how we want to run it. So there are some different things that I want to do. Mainly, it's going to be set underwater, and this is definitely a mission that was written for space. So we're going to be running it underwater, and so I'm going to swap out some of the enemies and some of the environment and stuff with more thematic sort of things. So actually, the first thing I want to do is I'm going to turn off my overhead light and turn my lamp on, because that's much more conducive to doing creative stuff. This should tell you how the week is going. It's 7:30 and I'm drinking a Red Bull. I don't give a freaking heck. Let me turn this light off. Oh. There we go. Oh, that's much nicer. Much nicer. Okay. Point it away from me, though. So let me check the chat here. Cool. Hey, Cole. How's it going? Oh, I'm very quiet, and my music is very loud. Yeah, I'm glad I fixed that, because that was getting to me a little bit. So I'll crank myself up a little bit as well. And I think I might actually just go ahead and leave the music off for tonight. I've been listening to music a lot today. So let me move my OBS over. Get it situated here. Hey, DJ. How's it going? First things first, let's look at the mission that I'm going to be running tonight. Or not tonight. Good Lord, I hope not. Friday. So the mission that we're going to be playing, and this was voted on by the players, it's called Severed Connection. And if you've looked at some of the other missions that I posted to the Patreon, you'll be familiar with the format of the missions here. But this is one that actually Barker and I co-wrote together. And it's basically like you have to time a fulcrum jump and then destroy this hub that is part of like the lattice network that the Ionic Primacy uses. And so we're going to be using this and kind of seeing just how flexible and variable it is, because we're going to switch some stuff up. So I also I'm gonna just go ahead and open up a new Google Doc here that we can work in for our notes, and we'll use that to take some notes here. What I was gonna do is I was gonna print everything out and have it and actually do handwritten, but my printer kind of crapped on me and I didn't feel like troubleshooting. So yeah, and then the other thing we're gonna have open is the enemies and the GM tools and the modular rules. So the modular rules are like the add-on rules that we have in the book. So it's things like allegiance, the hard mode, zeta points, environment conditions, rules for what else do we have in here? There's all kinds of stuff. It's 14 pages of stuff. That's right. Rules for the combiner and super mecha, which I posted at the Patreon the other day. These are the environment templates. If airborne, corrupted, ruined, space, underwater, volatile. So basically all of these have little like rules modifications to them to help get across the sort of the feel of the different environments. But then they also have these hazard tables that you can roll on when you need something. So like for instance, when the first game I ran, the first one-shot game I ran, they were in space, but they were also in a ruin, and when one of the players rolled a natural 20, which in Mecha Hack is bad, it's a critical failure, I rolled on the hazards table to come up with what happened to them. So we've got the environment conditions, expanded downtime, which is work in progress, not quite there yet, but that's going to be some fun stuff that you can do during downtime. The hard mode rules, on-foot skills, swarm rules, which are still very work in progress. We've got Mecha as starfighters, which is something Tim's working on. Variant character creation, which has a few different things in it. It's got some starting ability arrays and extra equipment for the kind of game that you want to run, but also specific faction loadouts, so things that you start with and modules that are available to you if you're playing as one of the factions in Lodestar Alpha. And then we've got Zeta points here as well. So there's a lot here. There's like stuff that I forget about. The main thing that we want to look at here is we have the underwater environment condition or environment template. So let's read this really quick. Let's try again. A mecha's vacuum seal protects its pilot from the torrents of freshwater caves, while the rigid chassis keeps them safe from the immense pressures of the great below. Low visibility is replaced as best one can with a submarine's pinging sonar, and modules such as the long-range scanner are especially useful in these environments. So we've got sonar sight. In the darkness of the deep, visibility and sensors are reduced by 1 range band. Beyond that, system tests made to scan, search, or detect have disadvantage. Low horsepower. Pushing through the pressure of the deep requires significant energy output. Mecha can only take 1 move action on their turn, and the underwater environment counts as difficult terrain, which is on page 7 in the Mecha Hack core book. Cooling reactors. This is actually a benefit. Mecha in underwater environments benefit from additional cooling and can choose to re-roll any reactor die result of 1, taking the second result. So it's very like Battletech MechWarrior inspired, where if you're in the water, your reactor has a less chance of overheating. So if you're firing a bunch of energy weapons or whatever, you can just like stand in the water and you'll cool down. So this is the environment that we're going to be playing in is underwater, which is really fun. And I haven't run an underwater game using Mecha Hack yet, but it's very like, I don't know, that's very tropey in Mecha. Like in Gundam and stuff, there's like special mobile suits that are like designed to be underwater. There's like submarines and stuff. So I'm excited to play around with this and really kind of have fun with it. So we're going to be using that for sure. And then I wasn't sure if there was anything here in the GM toolbox. This is really fun. This is the instant action table. You can roll twice with a d20 and come up with a cool mission idea. So like here, let's roll one right now. 13, deceive, 7. Signal, deceive signal. So like deceive signal. Okay, so we're trying to like fake a signal, or we're trying to fool a sensor array, or like you can come up with different ideas, and these could be entire missions, they could be challenges that have to be overcome, obstacles. If you're in the midst of a session and you want to throw in something kind of interesting and cool, you can roll on this and just come up with something. This is very inspired by like the Oracle tables in Ironsworn, where you just have these very like simple like verb noun sort of phrases that you can then use to like expound and come up with cool ideas and inspire yourself. So we have some critical damage tables, the Mecha appearance generator, Kaiju appearance generator, the Kaiju name generator, Comms chatter. This is really fun. You just like roll on it to get like fun comms chatter. 8, we've got company. 2, watch that crossfire. Mission complications and opportunities. So these are like different things that you can roll during the mission to come up with different stuff. So we might get some use out of that. And then we've got some more work in progress here. So this is something salvage and scrap. I think this is something Tim is working on. So that's there. So we might not use a ton from the Game Master Toolbox, but if we need ideas, we got the instant action, and we also have these the complications and opportunities table. So, and then we've got our enemies here. We actually have, I'm excited to use these, but we have a few underwater enemies that we've designed. We have the cyclone drone. We've got the deep diver submarine. We've got, maybe that's it. That might be it. I forgot about the tunnel worm. Here, let's look up submersa. Yeah, there's 2. Okay. So, but that gives us something to use. So these cyclone drones will be fun to play with, and the deep diver submarine will be as well. And then what I might end up doing is basically pull a mecha stat block that I would like to use and add the submersible trait to them, and basically make like an underwater type mobile suit where it's like, okay, we're gonna use, since we're fighting the Aeonic Primacy, we're going to use Aeon Diodes, but we're going to give them the submersible quality and, like, take something else away or whatever. But, so, yeah. Okay. So we've got our mission, we've got our enemies, and we've got the rules that we want to use. So let's look at the mission here and decide what we want to do. So we've got the title, Sever Connection, and then we have the little, this is like the little intro that you read to like glean what the mission is about and decide if that's what you want to run when you're kind of like flipping through the book. Use experimental fulcrum tech to conduct a surgical strike against a vital target. Contend with swarms of fighters and deal a crippling blow to the Aeonic Primacy's data network. The mission briefing reads, the Lattice enables the Aeonic Primacy's greatest strategic assets, instantaneous data transfer. This network functions like a hive mind, allowing Aeons to instantly alert allies to danger, coordinate attacks, and react with lightning speed and accuracy. The Lattice relies on strategically placed nodes called hubs to maintain its range, link the minds of nearby Aeons, and receive and transmit data. A lone hub at the edge of the Nidus Nebula presents an opportunity to strike an offensive blow against the Aeons, knocking out their ability to communicate effectively in this region of space. We've fitted your mecha with experimental Twitch fulcrum drives. You must jump into combat, disable the hub, and escape before reinforcements arrive. Our objectives here, we've got destroy the Lattice, capture an enemy starfighter, extract data from the Lattice. So these could be objectives that all need to happen. They could be objectives that happen in addition to like a main objective. The objectives are specifically written so that if you want to have a mission where they have to do all 3, then you can do all 3. Or maybe like one of them is the primary, like, all right, we need you to extract this data. If you have time, could you also destroy it? You know, that sort of thing. And then this mission is interesting. It's one of the only ones that has a different table. Normally, this is the mission twists table. So it's like the, you know, the twist that happens halfway through, 3/4 through a mission. This one has a table called jump complications, which is basically like, it's tied to the timing the twitch thing here in the Twitch drive jump system to coordinate the jump. Failure means rolling on the jump complications table. So that initial fulcrum jump is like kind of integral to the way that the mission works. So I want to keep that in there. But what I'm thinking is basically that, and let's write this down. So the hub is hidden underwater on a heavily fortified Aeonic world. The PCs must twitch jump as accurately as possible to emerge under the water and avoid the planet's defenses. So basically just changing it so that it's no longer a hub that's in space. It's a hub that is on an Aeonic world, and it is underwater. So that's cool. So we'll still be able to potentially use the jump complications. And I think for the objective, we definitely want to do destroy the lattice, but I'm actually thinking that we might want to do extract as a side objective. So let's say main objective, destroy the hub, secondary objective, extract important data. And I can come up with what that might be. In fact, let's do that really quick. Let's use the instant action. So that's it twice on the D20. 6, 10. Outrun shields. Oh, no, you know what? Let's use what we had before. We had deceive signal. So extract important data. It's basically, we'll say like shield codes. So ships can enter the atmosphere and invade. Yeah. So sort of like, okay, if you want to survive this, if you want to get off the planet, you have to do this secondary objective. So we'll come up with what that's going to be. But so the opening scene here, we have the kickoff. Every mission in Mission Manual has a kickoff, an action, and a climax. The kickoff is like the opening scene, action-packed, like in media res sort of thing. And then action is like the bulk of the session, and then the climax is like the ending. It's a climax, right? So the kickoff is the Twitch drive jump. So we have dangerous jump, immense pressures, ambush the Aeonic primacy. So you have to do system to coordinate the jump. Failure means rolling on the jump complications table. So that's what we have here. Mobility to navigate the tumultuous storm and avoid 1d6 damage and a reactor roll from lightning strikes. So that is something that we'll probably tweak just a little bit to be a little bit more underwater themed. And the important thing to note is that the missions are kind of written in such a way where you can do this on the fly. Like if I decided I'm going to run Severed Connection, but I'm going to use the underwater mission template or environment template, I could probably do that on the fly just fine. But this is more so that I'm walking into the session having done something different. I'm really, in addition to running these sessions to show people what the mission manual is and the different things that are presented, I'm also really kind of trying different stuff with it to see how it works and see if there's anything missing. Like I want to use the book as a game master and see how it functions. And so the last couple of games I've run with zero prep. I've just come in with the mission as written and run it pretty much as is. So now I want to try, how do these work with prep, with a little bit of a heavier prep, So I think that'll be cool. Okay. And actually, while I'm doing this, I'm going to take notes. Notes for additions. Briefing scene generator. Opening scene generator. Planet generator. Okay. And then we've got the drop. Tally up all successes and failures so far. Majority success means Mecha get 1 free action before initiative is rolled. So this is basically like setting up the ambush, right? What we want to do is we'll have all of the system jumps for timing the Twitch jump. If you fail, you roll on the jump complications. They could be your reactors downgraded. You drop at a distant range band. Your weapons are offline. Aeon interceptors ambush your arrival. You take 1d4 damage from cosmic debris. You smash through the carrier, taking and dealing d10 damage. So these are all very easy to flavor as being underwater. So I'm not too worried about that. So then we'll tally those up. We'll tally up the mobility tests. And I think I'm going to do mobility or system to navigate the tumultuous storm and avoid 1d6 damage and a reactor roll from lightning strikes. So that's easy enough to do for underwater. And then once you have all of those checks, you tally up all the successes and see how the ambush goes. So destroy the hub. Bombing run, starship dogfight, ion blast. Impenetrable shield protects hub, blocks entry. Sentry guns defend perimeter. Oh, that's right. So we can use sentry gun. The hub data dish receives, transmits data. System to hack into data feed and download vital intel and disable the shield. Carrier launch. Aeon carrier defends hub, launches interceptors, and fires a volley with ion disruptors. So what we might do is rather than have a carrier with interceptors, we'll go to the enemies here. We could do a deep diver submarine. Sorry, there's a fly in my office. That dispatches or deploys cyclone drones. So the cyclone drones can come out. We can run a big swarm of cyclone drones as one of the enemies, right? So we'll say replace carrier and interceptors with deep diver sub and cyclone drones. Okay. And then into the lattice, precision flying belly of the beast. So basically this is after you take down the shields. You can mobility to zoom through the blast doors as they close to avoid 1d8 damage. Aeon diodes defend hub's core, 30 HP. Presence to resist data discharge and reactor roll. That happens on a roll of 5 to 6. Fleet destruction, core explodes, and hub fragments. Mobility and power to navigate the collapsing tunnels and escape the explosion. So this all kind of works for underwater, right? So you get to the hub, and you've got a shield that is protecting the hub, and there's sentry guns that are defending the perimeter. Okay, that makes sense, right? And then you've got the data feed that's coming in, and you need to hack it in order to drop the shields. And so what we'll do is we'll probably set up like a skill challenge thing where it's like, okay, well, you need to make 3 system tests in order to get through, basically. And as soon as they make 3 successful system tests, then they're able to get through. So, oh, geez, my hair is something else. I had like a very like Japanese Lupin the Third situation going on. Excuse me. So they hack into it, and that's when they can get the data, the shield codes, right, for the world, for the planet itself, and then having the sub come out of the hub. That could be like the big fight, right? And then it's like very Return of the Jedi. It's flying into the hub, in this case, swimming into the hub, destroying the power center, and then escaping as the hub collapses and explodes around them, right? So it's like, yeah, that'll work really well for underwater, and that'll feel really cool. So, what do we want to do here? I think that what we want to do is we want to, we definitely want like an opening scene, like a briefing scene. And I think we should also, I want to make like a cool, like enemy ace that could be like a bad guy. So let's do all of that here. So the first thing I want to do, mecha paint and features. So this is like a cool thing that you can use either for your mech or a bad guy mech. So I rolled 11. Ooh, mirrored silver for the paint, and 2 numerous conduits and exhaust vents. So let's put enemy ace, mirrored silver paint with energy conduits. So we'll come up with like a cool name for that. Maybe even like Silver Comet. Something like that. Very like Char Aznable. And then let's go ahead and I just want to like look and see what all we can use here. Critical damage effects. You know what I might do is, oh shoot, I might just have this open and use this because this is more narrative stuff anyway. But I'll definitely use the critical damage tables. So I'll go ahead and put use critical damage tables. Enemies. So we're doing a deep diver sub. Sentry guns, cyclone drones, Aeon diode. Oh, that's a lot of stat blocks. And then should we have the ace be something else? What if we have the ace be... I already used the funnel drone mecha in the last game. What if we just... here, let's look in the core book here. Because there is a... just like a... Mecha ace. Yeah, that sounds cool. So we'll do Mecha Ace for the Silver Comet. What about Silver Meteor? Okay. So, opening scene. Just, what about describing... Oh, I know. Okay. Woken up. Okay, so they're... Ooh, you know what? Hang on, I'm gonna message my players really quick and see what faction they want to be part of. Let's do a poll in the chat with them. Neo Dominion or Terran Collective. We'll let them decide. But basically, they're going to be like on a freighter, get woken up by alarm, scrambled for mission, and they get the briefing while they're suiting up in their mecha. Give each player a chance to describe themselves and their mecha. And maybe there's like a... Sorry, I've closed the chat. There we go. Because I like the idea of a little bit more role play. It's just a little bit more narrative leading up to the jump. and giving the players 10-20 minutes to be able to like talk to each other and describe themselves and stuff like that. So yeah, that'll be cool. So we'll do that. Cool. Awesome. I don't really think I need anything else. I think that was really, really, it was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be to just like come up with some cool stuff. I will say that like none of the missions have like opening scenes. And so what I want to do is I'm going to tag Barker to help me do this. Is I want to make like a briefing scene or an opening scene generator where it can apply to all the missions, where it's basically like, how does the mission start? Like there's the kickoff, obviously, right? But specifically like where are the players? Like, are they on a ship? Are they in the cockpit? Like, are they like hurtling through space? Are they in a briefing room? Are they like in a drop ship, like Predator style, listening to like Creedence Clearwater? Like, what's the deal here? So doing that, and then a planet generator. I want to make a little planet generator because it would have been cool to like roll up a random planet for where they're going and what they're doing. So yeah, that's super easy. So yeah, that's Severed Connection. While y'all have me here, is there anything, Cole or DJ? I think you're the only people in the chat at the moment. If anyone else is there, you can feel free to weigh in. But is there anything else that you want to see while I'm here, while I'm streaming, from Mission Manual? Do you want to see another mission? Do you want to see something else that I glossed over in the modular rules or the GM's tools or the enemies, anything like that? Let me know and we can do that. Let me take another drink here. Got the blueberry Red Bull. It's very good. Let's see, my players said they're voting. We got one vote for Terran Collective. No votes for the Neo Dominion. Here we go. Cole says I want to see the whole thing. Here, let's look at something that I'm like excited about. Let's see here. Okay. So let's look at the allegiance here. So basically, I came up with a really simple way to handle like allegiance to the various factions, and specifically this is for Lodestar Alpha, but I also talk about in the section about how it can really be used for anything. So you can either be friendly, neutral, or hostile with the factions, and you cannot be friendly with both a faction and its nemesis. So you can't be friendly with the Terran Collective and still be friendly with the Ionic Primacy, the Neo Dominion, and the Terran Collective, or the Ionic Primacy and the Neo Dominion, if that makes sense. So it's like a rock paper scissors sort of situation. But let's look at the Terran Collective. So basically, if you're friendly with them, the faction seeks the pilots for aid, provides refuge and resources, and protects them from harm. The pilots become hostile to the faction's nemesis. Neutral. The faction neither actively hunts the pilots nor approaches them for missions, but defends territory and assets against infiltrators. Hostile. The faction actively hunts the pilots and attacks them on sight. The pilots become neutral to the faction's nemesis. So the Terran Collective, scrappy, opportunistic rebels at heart. The Terran Collective are primarily composed of former laborers, engineers, and military deserters from the Neo Dominion. The frequent splintering of their factions is an homage to the rebellious nature. Instead of rallying around a central authority, the Collective governs themselves, relying on the leadership of separate but equal sects scattered throughout the Lodestar system to coordinate and collaborate with one another, especially in war. The Collective accept any and all into their ranks, provided recruits share the goal of dismantling the structures of power that seek to oppress, namely the Neo Dominion. So, missions for the Neo Dominion. So you can roll up missions. Retrieve valuable resources from a Neo Dominion cargo convoy. Assassinate a high-ranking enemy officer in a hit-and-run mission. Capture an operative Ionic Primacy Mecha for study by Collective engineers. Escort a shipment of lodium through enemy territory. Seize control of central communication hub to link several collective sects. Test the capabilities of a new anti-mecha weapon. Salvage a Neo-Dominion derelict before rival scrappers arrive. Defend a collective installation from a multi-front attack. Deliver an encrypted and classified missive to a distant collective sect. Rescue pinned down Terran militants from an enemy siege. And then you can have these effects based on if you're friendly or hostile with the Terran collective. So nearby station offers repairs, refueling, sanctuary, inside hidden base, new modules and munitions, etc. The hostile stuff is communications jammed or intercepted, activity tracked and logged by spy network. So all the factions have something like this. The Neo-Dominion and the Ionic Primacy do as well. So that's like really fun to me. It's mostly narrative. There's not like numbers that need to be tracked or anything. Like you're either friendly or neutral or hostile to a faction. And if you're friendly with one, you have to be hostile with another. So that makes sense, right? So yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, the expanded downtime, this is something that I'm still working on, so this is very unfinished, but the idea here is that you basically have activities that that the players can pick from during downtime. So there's gather intel, modify mecha, secure resources, bond with a friend, brood or meditate, train, tune up mecha. This is actually inspired by, there's an awesome mecha game called Lancer. Lancer is a really good mecha RPG. It's also very crunchy and complicated, so I don't really enjoy running it. But it has some really, really cool ideas and little systems inside of it. So it's a cool book. And the art and the layout is gorgeous as well. But anyway, they have a really cool like downtime system. It's almost like a mini game, almost like a little RPG within an RPG. And so I wanted to have some fun like downtime activities that people could choose from in their games. So I'm still working on this, but it's something that was definitely oft requested from the Mecha Hack core book. People were like, my players don't know what to do if they're not in their mechs, so like what do we do? This is like kind of an idea of what to do that, so how to do that. Hard mode rules I've shared, on foot skills I've shared, swarm rules are coming along. Yeah, and then variant character creation. I've been running vet games, so 16, 13, 11, 9 for the stats, and then everyone starts with a weapon quality on 150 credits. That's what I've been running for the last 3 games or so. So we tried out Zeta points last time. That was fun. So yeah, it's coming along. It's really coming along. This book has come together very quickly, and it has been really been fun to write. So, and man, we're just we're doing really well on Kickstarter. Let's see where we're at right now. We are at 17,382. That is incredible. We're probably going to hit that 18 here in the next couple of days, and that'll unlock 10 additional missions for Mission Manual. So that's really exciting. Yeah. All right. Well, my prep is done for Friday. You see how quick and easy that was? I'm really looking forward to running that game. That's going to be a lot of fun to run it underwater, especially. But yeah, I'm going to bounce. I'm going to go eat some dinner. I hope that everyone is having a really good week. Like I said, mine has just been wild and crazy, but it's been good. So yeah, I hope that everyone is staying safe and staying healthy. If you have not yet, check out the Mission Manual Kickstarter. Duh. And yeah, I'm going to have some stuff, some apparatus Ethereum stuff to share with y'all soon, as well as some more fun things that I've been working on. So I appreciate all of your patience and continued support, even as Patreon content has kind of like slowed a little bit over the last couple weeks. Managing the Kickstarter is just taking a lot more brain space than I anticipated it would, but it's going well, and I'm getting a good handle on like compartmentalizing all that stuff. So anyway, keep it real, everyone. Have a really good evening. Stay safe, stay healthy. Take care. Happy gaming all, and we'll see you next time.